One day. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Dames and Dorks, episode 11. I'm so excited about tonight. We have a very special guest in the house. I'm Nadia, as always, player one of the Inside All Day podcast, who hosts this show, as well as we're simulcasting on Know Me Without You's YouTube as well. Before we bring our guest in, I am going to turn it over to the panel and let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, Dr. Rachel. Tell the people who you are.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Rachel, as Nadia just said. I have my own channel, Adeline Crafting. If you're interested in art, tutorials on how to make stuff, everything from like simple painting stuff to like whole costume designs, let me know. Go check out my stuff on there. And I'm excited to talk about some really interesting topics, a lot of which I was bombarded on Twitter today with a lot of them. So we're going to get into it.
Lily, tell the people who you are.
What's up, guys? I'm Lily, and I'm here, of course, with all these lovely ladies and our special guest. And like Dr. Rachel said, we have a lot of really interesting, and we're gonna have a lot of opinions about these topics. It's gonna be a great one. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I feel like I should be introducing each of you as like Dom or something. I know they call right. I know they call the men Doms. We'll have to ask our guest if she has an opinion on that. Nomi, tell the people who you are. Can't hear you, Nomi. You're muted.
How's this?
Now you can hear you. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties, not only in technology, but in real life as well. I'm Know Me Without You, and I'm here hanging out with my lovely ladies. You can usually catch me hanging out with Nadia and Inside All Day, and on my channel as well, or on Twitter at Know Me Without You.
All right, very cool. Well, I don't want to keep her waiting, right? We don't want to keep the head mob boss waiting, so I'm going to just bring her in. Our special guest, Miss Sassy Sasquach.
Hi guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always good to be on with you guys. And you know, as a mob wife, not really, but could be. I'm happy to be here. When you said mob wife aesthetic, and I said, I got it. I got it on rotation. I can do it.
Well, I have a question for you. If they call the men Doms, what do they call the women?
Well, it depends. The women who are not the wives, but the girlfriends, are gumads.
Gumads.
So like, you know, like Carmela Soprano was the wife, but the girlfriends were the gumads. So I don't know if there's anything else but that. I just know gumad. So that's all. But that's kind of a derogatory. Well, it's not really. It's just your girlfriend. And it's not like you treat your girlfriend poorly. You usually have a wife and your girlfriend, and the wife knows about it.
Well, it's kind of like a side piece, right? What they call a side piece nowadays.
That's what the Italians call a side piece. They're gumad.
Yeah. Well, Miss Sassy, if I know most of the people know who you are because you're amazing, but if for those that might not know who you are, tell the people, you know, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I am Mrs. Sassy Sasquach. I'm the other half of Cannoli Sasquach. And let's see, I have my own channel, Mrs. Sassy Sasquach. I do a Sunday show called, God, this is a lot of S's, Mrs. Sassy Sunday Stream. I'm getting vexed for naming that one. And so every Sunday I get sassy on my channel. And then once a month I have, much like this, I get some girls together, and it's called Truly the Female Perspective. And I just talk about, you know, stuff that makes me mad, like how real women are being degraded. I'm trying to make real women great again, like us. We're great, and we need to be on a pedestal and a hoodle. And then I do a cannoli connection with my husband on his channel a couple times a month. So I get around, but mostly on my channel.
But you're a mob boss wife, not a, what's it called again?
I'm not a gumad. I'm the wife.
A gumad. You're the wife. Yes. Okay.
I'm the wife.
I have a feeling if Cannoli had a gumad, there'd be an issue.
I'll bring it. Bring a gumad on. Let her do all the cleaning, the laundry. Listen, I'll just look like this all the time and sit pretty. I don't want to lift a finger. Let the girlfriend do all that, and I'll just sit pretty.
That's what my dad always jokes, because, you know, Middle Eastern Italians were pretty similar. My dad always jokes of like, what if Chris, you know, went and got a girlfriend or something? And I'm like, I have the house in the ring and the dogs. If she can cook and clean, go for it, man. Or whatever. Like,
Yeah, if she wants to pull her weight, that's fine. The
Yeah.
lesson things for me, more time for me to scroll on TikTok and watch all this crazy crap that I can pull from my Sunday show. I got things to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you're here with us today. You definitely fit the topics we're going to be talking about, a couple women issues going on. But beforehand, let's say hi to the chat. And for that, I'm going to take these off because I can't see shit out of them. I don't know how you Italians do it and stuff. To me, by the way, Nomi, you look like you are out of Breaking Bad. That's what it's the vibe I get. I love it.
Can I just say, will you pull up Cannoli's comment? He actually has the term, it's gumer, and it's godmother in Southern Italy slang, usually pronounced gumad or gumar in American English, a mafia mistress.
Interesting. I'm learning so much because of watching The Sopranos for the first time.
Oh, God, great show. I watched it the first time, like in real time. Mm-hmm. And get this, Nadia, you've watched it enough now, probably. How about watching
like 4 or 5 episodes of season 1 so far?
Okay, well, just keep this in mind. I watched it with my in-laws on Sunday nights.
Holy cow. Yeah. Even the 5 episodes I'm into. Wow.
Little uncomfortable, but I watched it in real time and it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. So I hope you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying. So I said this yesterday. I don't know yet if I like it or not because I've been so burnt by really bad writing lately for TV shows. Mm-hmm. And this is so well written, but yet I still don't know if it's my thing. A lot of people said, like, give it season 1, kind of push through it, and then it kind of takes off after that.
Oh, it's intense.
Same thing with Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad season 1 is really rough start to get into it. But once you push past that first season, it just takes off. So I'm hoping that's where.
Stick with it. You'll be pleasantly surprised. There's some throwaway episodes. Some seasons were dumber than others, but when a show goes on for as long, and remember too, this is back when binge watching wasn't a thing. And so there was one season, I want to say there was almost 2 years between it. For whatever reason, writer's strike, what have you, there was a big gap between a season. So I don't know if that hurt it or not, but I do remember sometimes having to wait a really long time for the next season. So
I wonder if that's around the writer's strike that messed up Heroes.
Could have been.
Probably.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Interesting.
It's good. It's a good show. It's worth the watch. I wish I could watch it again for the first time, not knowing anything, because I feel like it was that good of a show. And you'll learn so much about, burying bodies, anything, stuff like that. Allegedly. Taking out the garbage, all right?
Well, I'm curious, and I have a question.
Waste management.
And that kind of brings back, because the last show that I think kind of unified everybody, no matter where you stood, was Game of Thrones weekly, where everybody, no matter who you were, you were there every Sunday night to watch Game of Thrones. Do you guys prefer the method of they release all the episodes at once and you binge it, or do you like the slow burn of a weekly episode release?
What I usually do is just wait for the whole season. I don't care. Like, the only thing that FOMO does not affect me is TV shows.
Okay.
I don't mind it being completed in a whole season, so I have the whole series to binge watch it. That's how I usually do it. But how Mrs. Cannoli said earlier is back then we didn't have to binge watch everything because we had to wait.
You had to wait.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So but now that modern times, we're now a civilized country. I don't mind waiting, but that's how I usually do my shows when I watch them. I just binge it.
I think it does depend on the show too. I don't know. It's I guess we're so used to instant gratification that it's hard, but it was so fun to look forward to something, because there's times where say Stranger Things will come out and you just have all these episodes and you feel like you just have to, the next one's there, so you're going to watch it. You can't go, okay, that's a cliffhanger, but let's wait and let's watch it next week. It's hard because it's there. But I think there's something to be said about, there's no more water cooler chat like you used to have. Mm-hmm. And if it's oh, did you binge watch 85 episodes of that show over the weekend? And it's no, and then you don't have anything to talk about. But if you're watching that one episode with everybody, it's kind of like what we're doing now. you can break it down week by week if they're releasing it week by week. But if you're binging it, it's like, I think it's I don't know. It's a double-edged sword, but I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yes.
Well, I put a poll in the chat if everybody wants to vote. And also make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Inside All Day for all future episodes of Dames and Dorks. And please go ahead and share the stream too. Have your friends come by and say hi. We love new people. Please do so. In that vein, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to say hi to the chat while everybody votes. So we have Mr. Anthony Mark. Hello, Anthony. We have Shmoo. Hello, sir. Mando Unchained. I know I'm going pretty fast through this, so we can kind of get into topics. I know. I want to say hi to Gordon, good brother. I almost said Godfather. And maybe because I'm in the same vein.
Now you got to change it to Godfather now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mongoose. Always nice to see you. Ricky, nice to see Rick.
Rick, clearly.
Rick clearly. Rick,
Clearly.
clearly. If your name is really Rick, that's a really good play on your name. Let's see. Who else? We got Chew.
Chewy.
Hello.
Chewy.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Everyone know by now who watches all 11 episodes of our show is that I don't speak English very well. It's not my first language, so names are very hard for me.
Honey, listen, I'm on episode like 27 of my show. The words never get better. They never come out. It will never get better.
Good evening. Let's keep going. Zax is in the house. Hi, Zax. I had a fun time on his show last night. It's actually probably one of my
always have fun
favorite
on that.
shows. I know, like
Always.
such a good time. Oh, look, Nomi's in the chat. I think
It's everywhere.
we had Mr. Cannoli, and I think that might be and Nerdy Neo. Hi, Nerdy Neo. Hello, and OT. Oh, we're back to OT. Didn't get
Yeah,
your
and
name.
you know what? He screwed up because the joke is he can't change it for 14 days.
Days. The Gooch is in the house. All
That's
right.
right.
Ever since I learned about the Gooch, I've been saying Gooch a lot.
Is it hard, Nadia? Is it hard to unsee the Gooch?
It's very hard to unsee the Gooch. It's very hard. What's up, AJ? Are you taking a bath tonight too? Listening to us like you were
God.
yesterday? I think that might be everybody else. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Nomi, you are so perfect. You're just sitting there, just like very intimidating. You would make a very good, like, mob boss.
Thank you. Well,
You've got that reacher look, where he just looks at you and just.
I'm just listening to you guys just talk. So I guess I can be intimidating. I'm just like, hi. I'm just doing it for the aesthetic.
My bad, AJ. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I thought, we would have the privilege too. Okay. So, if everybody in the chat's seen us, those who listen on audio, I'm sorry, but we're all kind of following a certain aesthetic that's in line, right? Miss Sassy, of course, Lily, Rachel, Nomi, everybody's dressed up in our best, and that leads to what a current trend is going on right now. As I pull up I'm just rambling so I can get my stuff right. Leopard layers and load of gold. Say hello to the mob wife trend.
Yep.
Which is interesting to me because I never thought this aesthetic actually went out of style. Because
I don't know if it existed, right? Though. Outside of being a mob wife, was it really ever a style? What do you think? I don't think leopard.
Well, I mean, leopard alone, but the whole like black top, fur coat, a lot of gold is a very sleek look, I feel, for women. I feel like it's never gone out of style.
Wouldn't it be like the gaudy look, like the gold and just like those arches? Sassy, you know more about that. Wouldn't that be gaudy? Isn't that a term? Or am I just making it up?
Which term, babe?
Gaudy? Like G.
Yeah, it's gaudy. Like what you're wearing. Oh my gosh, that's really gaudy. Meaning it's too much, it's over the top, it's a lot. That's like, yeah. It's not just John Gotti. It's also like, that's really a gaudy look. It's too much. You're too much. Yeah. Okay. But John Gotti was too much too. I mean, come on now.
I feel so to me, it's not an aesthetic, okay? Because Middle Eastern women dress like this all the time. I'm sorry, I'm going to call out my Middle
also
Eastern
an
sisters.
attitude. It's an attitude.
Yeah.
In Hispanic
And they have the
community,
attitudes too. So
in the culture, Hispanic culture, like if you're going to a wedding, it is known to you for women to dress up very nice and elegant dresses, the hair done, the makeup perfect, just to try to outshine the bride, but just not really. But it's just I think it is a cultural thing. It's like over the top. Like they have to make a statement issue. Not an issue, but a statement of who you are. And I can present myself very well.
Italians like to be too much. The Italians, it's always got to be something. You always have to outdo everybody. The weddings are, first of all, let's just say, I got married out in Arizona and everybody came from New York. And my wedding was very different than what they would see in New York. I mean, very low key back there. It's just like people are like, you guys wear jeans to weddings. They wear 3-piece suits. The women wear ball gowns. You are in a huge room with lots of gold and chandeliers and tables, and everything is like.
I was fortunate enough to go to a Italian New York wedding, and you're not wrong. I was like, this is a little much for me. I went with a dress that I got from TJ Maxx.
It's intimidating. It's intimidating.
Middle Eastern women are the same way. We're all about bedazzle. So if you're more bedazzled out than the bride, it's like a goal. It's mostly, for me, I think it's mostly because they're trying to get a husband at the wedding, because in that culture, that's a lot of times when people are matched up at that point. But it reminds me a lot of like gypsy culture. Like, wasn't there a show about American Gypsy or something? Yeah. But not as, I hate to say this, I don't know any gypsy people, but I'm sorry if cancel me now. It's not as tacky as gypsies kind of go.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right. No, I get it. It's a lot. That's gaudy. The gypsy thing, no disrespect, it's beautiful, but it's a lot. And I mean, those dresses and how much jewels, and it is on the gaudier side. It's beautiful, but it's a little too much.
So why do you think?
I think the way that you would describe it is probably like when you're doing over the top too much, everything expensive, name brand, it's new money. So that's why it's like associated with like cartel wives too. They dress like that also because their husband just came into a bunch of money, and what do you want to do when you come into a bunch of money? You want to show it off. Yeah. So what do? Everything is name brand. You get the big fur, you get the jewels, you get all that stuff.
Listen, honey, I'm all about Shein and the knockoff purses. That's how I have a great knockoff Louis Vuitton that I got on Facebook Marketplace, and that bitch has been holding up for a year and a half now, and I love it. Paid $79 for it. Can't tell the difference.
I'm not a very materialistic person. I have select pieces that I've had over time. But I don't like believe in like brand name, like having everything brand name on you and then having the brands. And I think it makes, to your point, Lily, old money tends to not have any brands on them. Like it's very just sleek and classic and just nothing. Like you don't know what they're wearing. You don't nothing. Where you're right, new money wants to show it off.
Everything's a brand name with new money. Like you can tell they're just dripping, and everything's got a symbol, a brand name. You can tell what they're wearing, but you're right. Old money was more classic. I think new money can be a little tacky sometimes, in my opinion. Yeah.
Speaking of which, continue talking because I have to take these out because I can't stand these. I don't know how you do this, girl. I can't. It's like I'm taking my earrings out.
Oh, you can't roll with you don't like earrings?
I like earrings, but I like studs. I don't like big. These are my only like dangling loop earrings. I had to search for them.
Well, I've been told that my hoops better be bigger on Sunday or I'm losing subscribers.
Oh, I should pull up that picture. Wait a minute. I should pull up that picture that
oh God, that was so painful. That made me cringe. Like I have the biggest fear of like ripping your ear hole out because of your big hoops. And I don't wear hoops to work usually. I have like smaller, thicker hoops. I like the thicker golder jewelry. And because I wear scrubs. Who wants to wear big hoops with their scrubs? I mean, you can. But those big hoops, when women wear those big hoops and they're hanging on by a thread, literally, and they're just swinging their heads around. Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
This is a real thing.
Like I feel like you would pull your earlobe out.
I would listen.
Yeah.
I'm
I
Italian,
don't
and
get
I
it.
shop with my hands. I would rip it out the first time
Oh
I
my
got
gosh,
excited over
Sassy,
something.
yes. Oh,
I mean, I think the bigger ones like coming to your shoulder, but that's gaudy. That is definitely over the top for me, honey.
Yep.
Like, at what point do you go, I want to go bigger? What do you mean bigger? I want to go bigger earrings. Okay, we'll get you like, these thick boys. No, I want to go bigger. What, like I want them, you want them like down knee. No, I want them where my elbows are touching them.
Oh God,
What?
no. If it listen, if it touches if I can feel it on my neck at all, like right here on
No.
my shoulder, no bueno. I shouldn't I don't want to feel my earrings when I'm because I'm very animated when I talk. I don't need that.
My question is
Oop.
like, oh hey Nadia.
I know, sorry.
question
I'm
is-
like, sorry about that.
My
I'm still
question
learning
is, like,
stream art, so I was trying to get Miss Sassy, but go ahead. Sorry.
wouldn't those type of hoops, wouldn't the weight bother you? Because earrings, okay, granted, when I was in high school, when I was in my emo phase, I had gauges, I had double zeros, because I'm like, I'm gonna get them big. But once I came into college, like I got to be responsible, so they shrank back. Thank Lord. But if that was a hoop that I was wearing, the weight would bother me so much,
Sure.
where I just can't. I'm like this the whole time. Because
Well, and they rip your earlobe out, and then your earlobes start the women that wear those hoops all the time, and they're heavy and they're very animated and they're flipping their heads around, and I'm just waiting for their earlobes to rip.
No,
It's very, very disturbing. It's not a good look. I'm sorry.
No.
The only time I
That
would
look
want
I
to
could
wear
never get behind. Nope.
the only time I would want to wear big hoops is to be able to do the hoops out, tail up kind of situation when I'm ready to fight. Like I'll be
Oh,
like,
okay.
okay,
Yeah,
hoops are
I'm
coming
getting
out,
it. Yeah.
hair's going up in a pony, so hoops out, tail up. Let's go.
And that's
You
why
want to
I
have hoops to remove to make
yeah.
the point come across. I get
and
it.
that's why I don't wear earrings, because I'm always ready to fight.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's a fight or flight thing. But this is not a therapy session yet.
It's just a statement, like my outfit.
It's so interesting to me that the mob aesthetic is in and the clean girl aesthetic is out, but it also is interesting to me because I'm sure most of us are around the same age range. Are you guys not freaked out at the fact that the 90s and early 2000s fashion is back in?
No,
And I see all these teenagers wearing clothes I wore as a kid, and I'm like, okay, no, this is freaking me out. This is the matrix I do not want to be a part of.
oh no, I'm a fan of it, and I am living for it because I loved that aesthetic growing up in the 90s. Like the other day, I saw a girl wearing overall jeans. I'm like, oh my god,
I miss
want
my
those.
overalls.
I
Yep.
want that
Oh,
outfit. She
our
looks
baby,
so
our baby
good.
doll dresses back with the little t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
If you're around a good not a good Charlotte, because that's the band. Oh my god, it's a store. It's a clothing store, because we don't have those here where I'm at anymore. But Charlotte, it's a Charlotte store.
Charlotte Russe.
Charlotte
Russe.
Russe.
Russe,
Yeah.
Thank you. If that store is around you, they have the 90s aesthetics. I would say go get your 90s aesthetics. Go get your long maxi dresses that have the horizontal stripes there with your white shoes, and you can have your hairs in a pigtail. Yes, it is back.
Girl, I used to dress like a Spice Girl back in the day. I had the tennis shoes with the big platforms,
Oh.
and also I love a good pair of palazzo pants.
Oh
What
yeah.
are palazzos?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
The wide
Those are
leg
so
pants. You wear big-
comfortable, yes.
What are palazzos?
So
Those are
they,
so
they kind of
comfortable.
most of them are like elastic around the top, and they're like
Oh, I
a
know what
nice
you're
thick
talking about.
fabric, and they're just big wide leg bell bottom, but they're just long, one long leg. And
Yeah.
you can wear them with cute little crop tops, but now we're women of a certain age, and some of us can't wear crop tops anymore.
This is
Hell
something
no,
that I
where
That's why you get them. That's why you get them high waisted now.
That's
You
what I
do
was
the
gonna
little
say. That-
I will duct tape these heavies up so I can wear crop tops. All right,
Yes.
let's go. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Nadia, you need to get some palazzos, because when it's super hot and you wear those, it's like the
Mm.
best thing ever.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It is.
And
They're
Dr. Rachel too,
wonderful.
'cause you're in Florida. Oh my gosh, they
Yes.
look really stylish
They are
and cute,
lifesavers.
but they're so comfortable.
Yeah.
Listen,
Mhm.
growing up, I was the collared shirt with the sleeveless vest over it. You
Okay.
know what I'm talking about with I was the
Yeah.
book nerd.
Yeah,
nerd,
you
okay?
dress like Brian Austin Green from 90210.
Yeah, that was my thing. Or wrestling t-shirts. What about you, Dr. Rachel? What was your aesthetic growing up?
Oh God, I had it all over the place. I think the probably the worst one I had was also the one I thought was the most stylish. I had a 3-piece pleather suit in 5th grade.
Ooh.
That's
Uh-huh.
that'd be
Uh-huh.
so in style right now.
Yeah.
I thought
know.
I was the best. I love that thing. It was so stupid. It was like this bright teal. I was
Oh.
just like,
I
oh my
love
God.
it.
Mm. Yeah, like all the jellies, the jelly straps and sandals and stuff. Had all
Remember
that.
jelly shoes? They hurt your feet, but you wore them anyway.
Oh, I
Yeah,
had
in
hella-
Arizona,
I
they
had
were-
you
hella
walk through the
blisters,
pain.
but it was worth it.
The
Hella
men in the
blisters, but
chat
worth it.
don't understand the pain that we went through for those things.
No.
And
the
then I
jelly
had the
shoes?
goth phase in middle school, early high school, like baggy everything. Pretty much everything was bought from Hot Topic, chains everywhere, like
Same.
dark nails, just like the blonde
always-
highlights. Oh, I was
I always
all over
stayed,
the place.
like,
And now I'm
a
just like,
90210
whatever's
girl.
comfortable, that's what I wear.
Yep.
My aesthetic
Backwards
now
hat
is
tattoos.
lazy chic. That's what I like
Yep.
to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Rachel. I was an emo kid. Well, not emo. I was gothic kid. I had emo friends who were
I'm
into
emo.
stuff like
I
that.
was emo. I own it. I had the short little haircuts, like go poofy, and like the little leopard print hair. I had it. I had it.
Mhm.
Was I
Or,
the only one that thought I was part of 90210 in the 90s? That's how I
Think so.
dressed.
I don't
Oh,
know.
also the feather clipped for
Yeah.
your hair or feather
Mhm.
earrings that
I,
were really
I went through
into
like
it.
I went through a couple of phases too. I'm like Dr. Rachel. I started off with like being a little skater girl. So that was my thing. And then I went from
Oh,
like
yeah.
the little skater girl aesthetic to I think the Spice Girls came out or something, and I thought I was Posh
Yep.
Spice for the longest time.
I thought I was Sporty Spice. I had this cute little like jumpsuit crop top sport pants, and then I wore the big platform tennis shoes.
Oh my gosh, those were not fun.
But
I
I
was
never
Baby
did the
Spice
emo
all the
phase.
way.
I never got into the gothic emo phase. I don't know why,
Neither.
but
I never
and
did
so
that.
it's so out of character for me that for Halloween I dressed up as emo.
Yeah.
It's so out of character for me. My daughter's gone through several of she's gone through an emo phase, so I just borrowed all her stuff. But that definitely emo, all that stuff, that will never go away. I think that's
No.
a trend that will always be there. There'll
Emo
always
will
be a
never
group of
die.
kids.
That's
No.
forever.
I feel like gothic girls, as one myself, mold. Like we mold a little bit
Yeah.
into adults. Like obviously I have a bunch of horror stuff behind me, but I don't like do overdress gothic. I wear a lot of black, but it's not Hot Topic clothing and stuff. So I think it's always with you if you're a gothic or emo girl in some way. Just like there's certain parts of your aesthetic that will always be with you.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you listen to My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
I'm
yeah. Or
like
Ghost Gear.
I think I'm just like goth in my heart.
Goth adjacent.
I like all that
Yep.
stuff, Wednesday and all of that. It appeals to me. I used to love Lydia and Beetlejuice, but I never wore it on the outside. It was in here.
I was a goth girl who listened to hip hop and rap. So
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, right. I
Yep.
dressed like a goth girl, but I listened to rap and hip hop.
I'm a basic
I mean,
girly,
to
but
be
I'm also
fair,
hood. Go
to
ahead,
be
Grace.
fair, I also listened to classical. Like I was listening to a lot of Celtic music and Josh Groban while
Oh,
looking
I
like a
Josh
goth chick.
Groban.
Yeah.
Dr. Ray, it's so funny, Doctor. I did a portrait of him. I found the drawing somewhere a couple weeks
Really?
ago. I should see if I can
Ooh, I
find
need
it
to
Of
again.
what?
to
Of
take a
who?
photo.
Josh Groban?
Josh Groban. Yeah, I used to do portraits.
Absolutely love him. I've seen him twice in concert. I dragged my
Mhm.
daughter to see him. I adore. Well, I'm a Celine Dion fan, so that kind of goes whatever. But
okay.
Josh Groban is amazing. That's so funny though. That's such a different, like Josh Groban, but you dressed emo. Is that right?
Yeah. I always told my parents I was going to marry Josh Groban. Never did. But
Love it.
yeah.
I know
Speaking of
he's
which-
so
You can
cute.
still dream, Rachel.
So good.
Miss Nessie, you could pull off as like a Celine Dion body double.
I know you told me I should do that for Halloween. I didn't have enough time, but I
You
might
just
try
need
it
to
one
like
of these
That'd be
days.
super
great.
straight your hair and you're
Yep.
good. Wear some white, talk with your hands like
And
this.
then all I have to do is keep doing that. 'Cause that's what
Yeah.
she does when she sings,
carry a
yeah.
mic.
Mhm.
Maybe a little Titanic plushie. There you go. Your heart will go on.
Oh,
I'm
God.
aging
You're
myself,
all set.
right? All right. So Mobs are in. Mob wives are in. Clean girls are out.
That's right.
Yes.
Stanley cups are
I
out.
can't
Wine
do
glasses are
clean
in.
girl aesthetic.
Mm.
It's too clean. I don't look good doing the clean
But-
girl aesthetic at all.
By the way, did you guys hear the update on the Stanley Cup?
No.
No.
No, from my
Yes.
source, and my source is my husband. I guess in the cup when they make it, there's like a lead ring
Oh
part.
my
It's
god.
sealed. It's sealed. Like it's not going to seep through. It's sealed. But people are freaking out now because they think obviously it's going to leak in over time and stuff. That so you buy those $65 cups, you got a cup of lead.
Yep.
By the way,
Us
I'm
are
pouring
simple
wine,
modern.
but it's non-alcoholic wine chat, so don't think I'm getting a little tipsy here.
Oh, I am. I'm drinking booze. They expect this
Same.
from me now. They want me to drink on Sunday afternoons. I'm like, I have to like cook dinner after my stream. I can't get drunk.
Yeah, you
Oh, I'm
can.
right there with you, Sassy. I'm drinking too.
Cheers,
What are you
babe.
drinking, Rachel?
Pepsi and vodka.
Oh,
I was
Nice.
going to do Coke and vodka, but I'm doing Truly. Whatever.
I'm doing
doing-
dry January.
Oh, you
Okay.
could drink this if you do dry drink. This brand is called FRE. It's really hard to see. I
Red.
know with the light. Free. It's a Sauvignon Blanc, alcohol removed wine.
Ooh,
Oh.
I'll have to get it. But it's only for January. It's not a long month. I'm almost there. So
You should do it for the whole year. I got tips for you if you want to do it that way. If you want to do it that way.
I mean,
I got you.
my birthday's coming up, so I kind of want to get a little lit. But okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. My birthday's right after yours, so I get it. I get it.
Okay.
So speaking of mob wives are in, clean girls are out. Gypsy Rose is out. So we're going to be talking about Gypsy Rose. We're going to be talking about a lot of things tonight. We're going to be talking about the whole thing with video game subscription. Is it Pal World? Is that how
Yes,
you say
it's
it?
a
Pal
great
World.
game. Oh
We're
my
going to talk
gosh.
about that. PETA being PETA. And we're also going to talk about the J.K. Rowling discussing films.
Disgusting
Who-
films tweet.
Yeah.
I just who doesn't know how to properly, do news. But hey, here we are. But first, let's get into some little bit of Gypsy Rose. So, for those of you who have lived under a rock, which actually is a lot of people, surprisingly. Do you know the other day I was watching a podcast and these kids didn't even know, side note, who John Benet Ramsey was, and I was like,
Yes.
oh, I'm so old. Anyway, Gypsy Rose, 7-8 years ago, killed her mother, or with her boyfriend, or hired her boyfriend at the time to kill her mother. She was a victim of Munchausen.
Munchausen.
Thank you.
Munchausen by proxy.
And I'm sure, like everybody else who's seen it, the Hulu's The Act,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
based off of, all felt for Gypsy, right? We're all like, oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Red flags are going for me right now with her because
Oh,
of
yeah.
how she's acting
Okay.
now post-release.
Mhm.
So what does the panel think of Gypsy Rose? Or have
Well,
you
can
heard
you
of it?
tell me real quick what because I haven't dove too much. I dove into like the Hulu special, all that stuff, and but what red flags are you seeing now that I might not be aware of? That's kind of getting you to question everything.
She's acting too much of a celebrity, like wanting that celebrity life. And it
Okay.
kind of correlates with what her mother initially wanted too, as well. Because, her mom wanted the fame, the fortune, and that's why she did so much things to Gypsy to be in the spotlight. It's a
Okay,
very
yeah.
heartbreaking story. Like, I don't agree with it whatsoever.
Sure.
But I also don't agree that she only got, 8 years, and then the boyfriend got life in prison.
Oh, that's not right. I didn't realize that he got life in prison. That's not fair.
Yeah.
She's also
And the boyfriend actually has a mental illness as well. And they don't want to give him a lesser sentence because they were trying to do, like he's mentally ill. He couldn't actually make these decisions for himself. She manipulated him into it or whatever. And no, so they want to keep him life in prison. And she's out about in the world with her new husband. Like nothing happened.
Gotcha.
And it's really
And it's
weird to
crazy.
me because she's claiming that this guy raped her post killing her mom, but there's video evidence of her just laughing, having a good time,
right.
with him. So, and it's also strange to me that she's married. She married somebody
Didn't
while
expect
she was
that
in
one.
prison.
Yeah.
That is
And
weird.
that was a bit of a red flag. And this whole as soon as she got free, she's like on TikTok. She's doing like a publicity tour in a sense, talking about things. I also think the Hulu The Act and just social media itself for the last couple of years has focused so much on her case that they have made her a celebrity. But I actually do want to hear from Dr. Rachel on this because she's the doctor on the panel.
Hi, doctor here. Yeah, it's no, Munchausen by proxy. It's a rough disorder because it usually happens when children are very young, and their parents, their caregivers, the people who are supposed to care for them, are physically and mentally hurting them just so they become reliant. So, like with the case of Gypsy Rose, I don't know who here has seen The Act, the Hulu special or not, but yeah, I binged it. Going back to what we talked about before with the binge model,
I binged it too.
but yeah, it was just such an interesting case, and like her whole life, she thought like she couldn't have all these foods, she couldn't walk, she couldn't speak properly. Like even when she was brought to the doctor's offices, her mother would basically coach her in what to say. So then she would be given all these medicines, and the mom benefited by having all this attention on her, and like people would gift her like food baskets and
They got a
like
house.
money and all this, and I had the house, everything was like gifted. So it's one of those things of like, it hurts me to see like a parent going so far that they would harm their own child, like even to the point of like physically breaking a child's leg just so the child has to be reliant. It's horrible. It really is. There's so many cases, and this is one of them that's bringing a lot of attention to the disorder. But yeah, there are a lot. Like, God, I never saw the movie, but what's that movie of I think it's the writer who's basically like kidnapped and his legs broken and stuff, and like tied to the bed.
Misery.
Yeah, that one. It's like you're being physically forced in a position where you have to be reliant on your caregiver, and they're not giving you care.
No.
And to see that happen to a child who's grown up their entire life, just with this, thinking that that's the norm, thinking that that's how they're supposed to be cared for, and that's how a parent shows love. It sickens me, honestly. So I'm glad to see that Gypsy Rose is doing well now, considering everything that happened to her. But there are also, there's some things of like, yeah, now that you understand right from wrong and you've had a chance at life and are going through it now and everything, you need to recognize all the harm that you've done in terms of like killing your mom,
Well, she comes off very remorseful for killing her mom from the interviews I've seen. It's so much though, but she's given no support to her ex-boyfriend. And I'm not saying she should be his number one cheerleader, but her advocating for him, or at least taking responsibility for her actions in this, probably would help him in the long run. Even if he does have life in prison, just to have, some sort of conclusion to the story, instead of this whole back and forth thing in the media about it. It's really sad because I think also her like glands were removed. Her mom had her like salivary glands or something removed. Like her
because she was taking medication that was actually making her overproduce saliva. So she was trying to use that and not tell the doctors that she was actually taking this medication for them to remove her salivary glands. She went through a lot of things. So like, it's a very sad case, but I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people are commenting on the way that she had access to her boyfriend to talk to him, and she had access to be able to communicate with her dad, and to go to the police. At the point where all of this happened, she was already, I think, 23 years old. So even if she like left her house, her mom couldn't get her back. Like, she was legally an adult already. Like, if she could have already been seen by doctors and kind of start showing them all the evidence and tell the police that all of this stuff was happening, I mean, there could have been other ways that she could have gone about it, but there's still a lot of people online that are defending her and saying that no, this was the only way that she could have possibly gotten away from her mom.
I thought her mom had a medical guardianship, because I think if somebody is to the point, even if they're past the age of 18,
Yeah.
you can
Well,
legally
she actually changed her age. So
Yeah, that's
she
true.
was
Right.
26
Multiple
actually,
times.
but
Mhm.
she had her down as a minor still, so that's why she was under her control. But
Yeah,
I
and I
mean,
think
I
that
don't know. I don't think, telling your boyfriend to murder your mom is it's the
yeah, she
the way to go.
she
Yeah.
damn well knew what she was doing. And yeah, like I think there is a particular scene in the act where her mom realized, like, oh dang it, like, yeah, she's getting older. That's why she changed the age on some document so she can
Mhm.
still get that resources from her. And there was one scene where she's being pushed by her mother while she's sitting on the wheelchair, like, I thought you said my birthday or my birth year was this, and you said this. So like that's when she realized she caught on that her mom is lying.
Mhm.
Well, I will say though, I wouldn't take everything the act is 100% truthful, because not only
True.
is it also Hollywood, right? They overindulge on ideas, but also you have to understand this is all coming from her, right? This
Oh,
there's the one person in this whole scenario that's gone, that cannot give their opinion of what happened. Not saying that she wasn't a victim, but I'm saying like
You
certain
can't be
things
held
Gypsy's
accountable. Yeah.
yeah, certain things Gypsy has told about her story. I mean, her mom's gone. There's no way to know if it's true or not, right?
Mhm.
Like, I completely agree that she's gone through hell and back, but I'm also with the fact that if you have access to your boyfriend, your father, the police, why didn't you tell anybody? Why didn't you just say, hey, or tell the doctor? Because I know most of the times when you go in to go see a doctor, they'll ask you like, hey, are you safe at home? Like, you could pull them
yeah, but
aside and
she
look at
didn't
the
let her
attorney's
mother.
side.
I bet you in that case that her mother never let Gypsy Rose in the doctor by herself, and so
Absolutely.
Gypsy was probably so scared. It's interesting. Just kind of to piggyback on this, I just listened to a book on the girl in the box, Colleen Stan. And it's
Mm,
very similar to this, where she was held captive for 7 years, and there was a few years where Colleen could have opened her mouth and she could have said something. She was actually with her family without her captor for less than 24 hours, could have said something. I think what happens is mentally you get involved in thinking that this person does have your best interest, or they love me, or they're doing what they think is right for me. And I think Gypsy didn't want to like betray her mom, and so she was probably torn, or maybe she didn't realize until it was too late that there was
Mhm.
something wrong. But like even with Colleen Stan and the girl in the box, even though she was tortured, she still thought he loved her and she loved him, because there was this sick, twisted relationship. And I wonder if that's what was going on here
Absolutely.
with her mom. And what I'd like to say too about the boyfriend, I understand why Gypsy killed her mom. I don't condone murder, but I do understand why she did it. I'm sad for the boyfriend, because if he is not mentally all there, and she did coax him into doing it, I feel like there should have been a lesser penalty for him. She gets 8 years, he gets life in prison because he's not
yeah.
doing well. Why not let him serve an 8-year sentence like her, and then maybe get him the mental help he needs?
Mhm.
Or I mean, no offense,
Because
she
she
should.
was mentally abused into killing her mother. Fine. Well, she mentally abused him into killing the mother. So I
Yeah.
just kind of feel like it's a double standard, where she gets to go out and live her life, and this poor guy who doesn't know right from wrong was in the wrong. Now, I'm not condoning the murder, but I think that his punishment should be different.
I
Yes.
agree. I completely agree. I don't think it should be life in prison just based off the fact that she was already released. I understand
Mhm.
she is more of a victim because of the years of torturement she had from her
Yes.
mother, but at the same time, she suggested to her boyfriend multiple times
Yeah.
that they should kill her mother. So like him mentally ill is doing it out of an act of love, right? Whatever
That's true. He
his
probably thinks that's way he shows his
yeah.
love. Did you hear too? Side note that I don't know if it's true, but they're saying that the family flushed her ashes down the toilet. The
Oh
mom.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yep.
There's
Real
a
piece
really
of
good
work there. Real piece
documentary.
of work.
There's a really good documentary on Max, I think it might be. I'll have to look it up
Yeah, I'd
about
like to
this,
see
where
it.
they interview her family and they interview like Gypsy's dad. And this was, right around the time I think Gypsy was about maybe a couple years into her sentencing.
Okay.
So interviewed everybody. It was very interesting. The mother's family did not like her, not the mom. What was her name? Dee Dee.
Oh,
Dee Dee. Yeah.
yeah.
Dee Dee.
Right.
Dee Dee's family did not like Dee Dee, so it's very. I don't know. I feel for her, but at the same time, red flags are just going off. I feel if I had gone through this situation, and I get everybody's different, but if I had gone through this situation, the last thing I would want to be is in the spotlight. I would just want to live my life, get to know my husband.
Can I make the point on that though? That's all she's used to. If you think about it, that's all she's used to is her mom giving her all this attention. She was at the forefront of everything. Make-A-Wish, getting a house, being on the news, being at the forefront. Her issues were always like, that was what Dee Dee always did, was make Gypsy's issues. And so Gypsy knew nothing more than being center of attention. So I wonder if she struggles with the fact that she needs that attention and that's why she's going after it. I don't know.
I 100% believe you. 100% agree with you.
It doesn't make it right.
Yeah, it doesn't make it right, but I 100% agree with you on that. That it's all she knows. It's seeking attention out. But the story that TMZ went with was the fact that Gypsy Rose's wave of hate from Nick supporters, and she feels it's unfair. So those who support the boyfriend are going after her and saying things. Let me bring that back up. Saying things like, "Don't get me wrong. I know that she's free. She's free since all the abuse that she suffered, but it isn't the kind of weird that how her ex-boyfriend is locked up in a jail for the rest of his life, and she's at her movie premiere. He's part of her story too.
I agree.
The girl living her best life, and she had this man do her dirty work, and he faces life in prison.
It is sad. It breaks my heart that he got wrapped into it. I don't know what his mental capacity is. He still did murder somebody. I understand there's a punishment for that, but it breaks my heart that people who don't know right from wrong are just, they go with the flow because maybe he wanted love. Maybe that's the only way he felt loved. And I just find it sad because, like I said, I feel like 8 years is fine for her. Great. I don't think she deserved anything longer than that. Yes, you killed somebody, but the bitch deserved it. I'm sorry. I mean, what that mom did was horrible. She's lucky she got a kinder, well, I don't know if hi, Nebraska. I don't know. I forget how she killed her, but I knew that it was in their house and in her room. I don't remember the killing because the act was a long time ago, but she may have gotten off easy. I mean, compared to didn't at one point her mom have her teeth ripped out, Gypsy?
I think that was also a medication that made her teeth rot.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just, it was sad. Like I said, I don't condone murder, but sometimes, man, it's just like, I don't know. It's a hard one. It's a hard one.
Yeah. Well, let's get into a happier note. I know there's not many gamers on, but I think everybody can relate to this. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Ubisoft and Ubisoft is getting gamers comfortable with not owning their games. So they're moving towards maybe a subscription. They're rebranding itself as a subscription offering and introducing a new service for PC players. I think this is bullshit. As a gamer myself, I like to own my games because I like to revisit them in the future, and I think this is I think the timing for this is very interesting because last year we had a lot of great games come out that were almost fully completed, aka Baldur's Gate, which a lot of pushback on that from other creators because they were able to pull out a game completed and release on day one. So I wonder if this is just to kind of help with the constant need for patch updates and uploads. I don't know. This is just conspiracy theory Nadia going on. But I know a couple of you play games. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
This is basically Blockbuster for Ubisoft. Like you're renting the game, but you're not even owning it. And then like the fact that this is like it's tyranny. That's what it is. It's tyranny towards gamers. in what you said earlier, you will own nothing, you'll be happy. I can just see a bunch of people walking away from Ubisoft. And me, if I was in that position of power, is like, this is a bad move, and I know we're not going to get this people. I'd rather just get the money from that one temporary purchase, but people continue buying it versus of like, hey, like you can rent our game that we have, and it's going to be like, I don't know, a $60 monthly subscription. Well, I'd rather pay that $60 to own that game one time versus it being every month.
You know, it's funny because my husband, I'm not a gamer, but my husband's a huge gamer. And so he has different platforms. So he has the PlayStation, the Xbox, and then he has the PC gaming. So I think that there are good and bad things to this. For instance, like he tried that, oh God, I'm such a girl here. That Star fucking thing with everybody got everybody upset. Starfield. What was that?
Oh, with the pronouns and stuff like that.
Yes. So on Steam, you can have like a $99.99 membership for the month, and you can like try whatever you want. You don't have to own anything. You can try it. Like he only lost like $10 on that game and hated it versus owning, but then he does like to own physical copies on other platforms. So I don't know. I think it's one of those things where he says down the road, he tells me a lot of gaming shit that eventually they all want to go away from physical copies and everything's going to be a download.
Yeah, they're really heavily pushing digital, and I really don't. I'm okay with digital if digital was cheaper, but to me, it makes absolutely no fucking sense that digital and physical copies are the same price.
But
same price.
But if you look at it now, look at N64. You can get a refurbished one for $600 versus it being purchased one time back in the 90s at what, $200?
Yeah.
I think that's how much my parents paid for ours. I still have mine, and now I have basically gold. So years come now, if you own those physical copies, you have basically gold in front of you. Because I know what I have with my N64. I'm not getting rid of that for anything because that's like a huge memory that I've had.
And that's one thing Cannoli wishes he would have done is hold on to more of his physical games. Because the reason why I know about all this shit is because like we have GameStop out here, and so anytime I like run to the grocery store, he's like, "Here, can you trade these games in? Can you get this game?" Like I'm always the game getter, and you know, like trade this in, see how much you're going to get this copy of this. But I think he does wish that he had more of a physical library, just for what Nomi said, just to have that and have some sort of nostalgia of it as well. Some of the older games, the older gaming systems. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, and you're right too. What I don't understand either is the physical copy and the download are legitimately the same price, but yet you're producing an actual product versus just a download. How is it the same price?
Yeah, I like what Vex says. What makes less sense is for most of these publishers and physical productions is still extremely feasible financially. Like Alan Wake 2 should not be a digital only because Remedy is doing great financially. I 100% agree with you. Your husband would have a field day with mine because he has every single freaking game he's ever probably owned. Wow. And every single system. I will admit this, and if he's listening, he'll probably be like, "Oh, you admit this?" When I first moved in with him, he had a official like Xbox stand from GameStop, like the old school ones where you could go and play. And this thing annoyed the hell out of me because aesthetically, where the fuck am I going to put this thing? And I made him give it away when we moved. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, bro. There's no room for this thing. Like there's no room in the truck for it. I wish we had kept it. But yeah, I used to be actually more pro digital because of the convenience.
Yeah.
But the fact that now they can go in and change things, and like
do patches and stuff. Yeah, that's true. That does make sense, and I do see the advantage to that because Cannoli will say things like, "Oh, you know, this download that I have, they added X, Y, and Z to it, or they add like a whole nother, like especially with what is it, like Mario Kart when they add all the other like courses and stuff. You don't have to buy the game; it's just already there." You don't have to buy extra levels and stuff. I know, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, there's pros and cons to both. Yeah. Like Sassy was saying, I think in terms of like the patches, the downloads are nice because you can get patched, remastered, whatever. But there's also the downside. Like, remember the whole controversy with Disney Plus where they were going in and like changing the movies?
Yes.
like and shows where
putting
they would like
warnings.
edit things and
Yeah.
or warnings. They could do that with digital games too.
Yeah,
Or
that's true.
like if you say something on social media that the company doesn't agree with, they can take away your subscription and therefore you're left without any games to play.
Yeah, she's right.
So so
that
there
is
are
true.
bad things for a subscription service too. I don't know,
Or
pros and
or
cons,
like when
both
you have
sides.
own Spider-Man and they get his Puerto Rican flag wrong, they can just go in and
Mhm.
change it on the digital copy.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's just patch that.
Yep.
Do you think this is because people are not buying into the way games are being game story is being told, how games are being played, because of some kind of agenda that they're pushing in all types of media, that their sales aren't doing so good, so they're like, well, you know, based games or just classical games who just stay out of the political world are doing so well, but we're not doing so good, so we're just going to take everybody kind of down with the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they may absolutely be doing that. Like in the article, like gamers are used to owning their games. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. So they're really pushing for the subscription service, which gives them complete control over what games you can play, what games you can't play, how much access you get to games. That's just giving up your control. That's why I personally prefer physical copies of games. Because I don't want the games to be taken away. I don't want them to be changed. If they come with glitches, sometimes glitches are really fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they make the game fun to play.
There was a Hogwarts glitch that I absolutely loved because you could go
Are you
underneath
taking
Hogwarts.
off your jewelry, Nadia?
Hell yeah, I am. Might take off my shirt too. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Review
Did I
goes
miss
up.
a memo or something? I know you're
And she's
Lily,
sober.
I know, right? Lily, what do you think? Because I don't know. Do you play games? I know a couple of them here and there.
No, not really. The only ones that I've played recently are just the Hogwarts Legacy and the what is it? The Party Animals. But I mean, I agree with you guys too because it's the same thing with movies. I mean, I love movies. I love collecting movies. I love watching movies, and I wouldn't want that to be the case either. That somehow my account gets deleted or something, and I'm not going to be able to get all of those purchases back. It's just better just to have physical media all the way.
I wondered about that. Like Cannoli used to have when I first met him. He had probably 500 DVDs. Like that was his thing. He loved DVDs. And we ended up selling them because things, you know, first of all, space. And then second of all, he wanted to. He was done with it. But you're right. Now we have Apple iTunes and the Vudu. And he's built these movie libraries. And, you know, I think about that often. Like what happens if all of a sudden it just goes away and all your purchases of all your movies, you have no leg to stand on. All that money you've spent, all your movies that you have are gone. Like, so it is, that scares me too, because they could just, what if the company went bankrupt one day? We didn't even know and everything was gone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That worries me too.
I wonder if they'll ever go after digital.
Yeah, and then I doubt they're just going to refund all that money back to everyone who's ever purchased anything on their platforms.
You would hope so. You would hope so. But if watch them go bankrupt and then we're all screwed. But
they're like, sorry, guys.
Then that's when you file a civil class lawsuit.
There you go. There you go. But I know Cannoli, like, I don't know if you guys ever hit up the movie sales, but he's constantly on these like movie sales. Like he just bought the whole like series of The Shield for, I don't know, $20. And it was like 15 I don't know what the hell. But he buys all these like series, excuse me, and TV shows and box sets of stuff, but it's all digital. And
my husband still has DVDs and Blu-rays, and still goes and buys them up until like when Best Buy will be getting rid of all the physical media.
See, that's another thing. They're not going to be selling digital media like CDs and movies. Best Buy's, isn't that weird? Like Cannoli and I, back in the day when we were dating, we went to this restaurant called Islands, and then we would go to Best Buy and he would buy like, you know, movie. We go to the bin where they're like $5 and you buy a bunch of movies and stuff, or Blockbuster
Walmart
and rent movies, Walmart. And it's just, it's weird that the physical copies are dwindling. I don't know, man. But so are CDs. Everybody gets everything on Spotify and iTunes. And like, I can't tell you the last time I bought or even burned a CD, like made myself a CD.
Yep.
I can't even remember. They don't even have the ability on PCs anymore to add
They
that to
don't?
be able to
Okay.
burn in stuff.
There you go.
Yep.
From what I've seen, I don't know. I know like my last two couple of laptops didn't even have a disc area to put in a
Yep.
DVD, a DVD or a CD player or anything.
And I
like
will
that.
say there are a lot of media stores like Staples and Best Buy and some of those other things that don't do disc burning anymore. So
Okay.
even if like you don't have personal computers that can do that, there's a lot of places that don't even have that service for you anymore.
Yeah, it's
So
it's
you
really
can't do
crazy.
it.
Everything, but it's like everything is digital, but anything could crash at any time. Like that
Yep.
scares the crap out of me. Like stupid thing, but like Facebook. I used to use Facebook as a photo album. My daughter growing up, like I have all like an album from every year that she was born, every birthday party, everything is on Facebook. And I'm like, you know what? I'd be so screwed if all of a sudden my Facebook was gone. I would lose all of my pictures. I don't like being like tethered to something like that. But then I'd have to print them all out. Nobody does that anymore. And it's just like, I don't know.
Nobody prints albums anymore.
No,
I
nobody
know.
Oh, this is why I still have a printer. I have one right by my desk. I will use that to the day I die.
Yeah.
I don't even have any wedding photos printed. I have maybe 3 canvases,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of photos, but that's it. I never got like a wedding book because everything's online digitally.
Listen, I've been married almost 20 years and I have like a very minimal wedding book too because I didn't print anything. Like it's just I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to think that everything is at the hands of somebody. We don't control or own anything. Even like our old laptop, we had all these pictures. I think Juliana's birth is on there and the computer crashed. We still have it. And I'm like, I asked Cannoli, I'm like, can we get that back? Because I have pictures on there. My daughter's like birth.
Yeah, that's why I like books.
I know.
That's why I buy books, even if I've read
audiobooks, but
I will buy books.
That's why I print photos right away when I have them, so I can have physical memories of whatever.
It's smart. You should.
And
You
then
should.
into
I
like
should
a
have
photo
done that.
album. I know
I was talking to my dad about it. He said, it used to be, even with DVDs and Blu-rays, but especially with books, it used to be like a big deal when you would go to somebody's house and they would have like a library of media, whether it be DVDs, books, stuff like that. That's their way of showing like, hey, look at all this stuff I have, all this media I own.
Too. Just shelves and shelves and shelves.
And now it's no more.
Movies.
No more. That's why I hate the clean aesthetic. I like, to me, it's unrealistic. I watch TikTok and all these girls have like white cabinets and marble floor. And I'm like, you don't live there, guys. Like you just shoot there. You don't live there.
I have white cabinets and a marble floor.
Well, I mean, like I'm sure you have stuff on your stuff.
I do.
Like, people
I do.
live there. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. You see these houses and it's like you do not cook a meal there, lady.
Yes,
Stop.
exactly.
I know.
I am totally. So, moral of the story for those who ever watch this: own your media if you can. If you can buy physical copies of your books, your games, your movies, buy them. Even buy to me, the one thing I really love the fact that Chris owns like all of these old games and systems. I mean, he's still got like a Sega. He still has old NES stuff. The thing I love about it is that if we eventually do have kids, it's something for them. Something for them to go back and enjoy, because who knows in 10, 20 years from now, that stuff is going to be available at all for them.
You know what? I made my daughter sit out. She was little, and it's when the Nintendo box came out where it had all of the old school games in it. I don't know if you remember that a few years, maybe it was like 8 years ago. But there was like a Nintendo thing. I waited in line. I was 8. They had 15 consoles. I was like number 8 in line. And I waited at GameStop for this, but it had all the old school. Like my husband loves showing her all the old school games because those old school games, man, like old Mario and whatever, he plays the Punch Out and all that stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like that's fun to share with your kids though, because that's what we grew up on. Sega type games, but Nintendo, like those classic games. You're right, and I actually, so a friend of mine, his sister owns she's physical media, she owns every single gaming system, and she has thousands of games, and she just has a gaming room, and she has everything, and she's kept everything. And I think there's something to be said for having those nostalgic items.
Granted, again, I don't have kids, so I don't know, but I know one thing. Everybody says this: oh, I'm not going to give my kids tablets, just not going to give them. To be honest, I would rather give them a old Nintendo 64 and video games and let them go play that rather than just them sitting on a tablet and playing
Listen,
games.
my
Yep.
daughter has a lot of mental health stuff, and so she has OCD and she struggles. I encourage her to play video games. I encourage her. She has a PS4 in her room, and she has access to stuff. I encourage her to play it because I feel like it's good for the brain, and it's just I don't think there. I mean, certain video games are whatever, but I agree with you. I think it's healthier to play video games than to be on social media all day because it's effed her up. You
Yeah.
know. So I
And
agree with you.
on that note, it kind of leads us into our next topic, which everybody's been playing this. If I can freaking finally.
Oh God, is this the Pal World? My husband
Yeah.
and Beth,
This is
they
the
played
greatest
this
game
for 5
ever.
hours on Sunday during my stream, mind you. I'm streaming and they're
I
playing
want to
Pal
play
World.
them. It's
I
great.
want to
It's
play
a fun
this too.
game.
I've only played one Pokemon game in my entire life, and I want to play the hell out of this game.
Oh, I've played every
Oh.
Pokemon game. I bought and downloaded this game last night. I got
It looks
tomorrow
cute.
completely off until
Well,
late at night. I'm playing this.
I'm
Good
gonna
try,
check
yeah.
tomorrow
Playing
because I
tomorrow.
promised Vex if I check to see if my old laptop can play it. Because my other one, my work computer definitely can't because I can't download stuff. But I want to check if my laptop will handle it. But I really want to play this game.
Oh God, yes. No, this is really good. It's a good game. I played the first time I downloaded it. I think I played like 5 hours on it.
Yep.
And after this stream, I am 100% playing this game after I'm done.
It looks
Yep.
really cute. It looks really cute. I mean, what is it? A cross between Pokemon and like Fortnite?
Oh no,
It's
like
Pokemon with guns.
it's a knockoff of Pokemon. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's Pokemon if you gave your Pokemon guns.
It's
Okay,
Pokemon.
gotcha.
It's Pokemon enslavement, basically. So you get to
Yeah.
have your little pals help you build the world that you want to live in.
But
and you
aren't
can build, like,
Pokemon
a house.
enslaved anyway, though?
But Pokemon is for like battling other Pokemon. Yeah, you
Okay.
You
can help
enslave
you.
them to battle for you.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
also very true. But you can do that in Pal World as well, where you can have your little knockoff Vulpix cooking your eggs, or you're making your baked berries, and you can also have your little pig get the stone that you need to build your house. So yes, it's basically Pokemon, but with guns.
I just want to be destructive in this game. That's all. I just want to be destructive.
There is a possibility that you can destroy other people's properties, but that is something you don't want to do because they'll break friendships. But it opens a lot of possibilities of doing whatever you want to do in this game.
Which
And
is
I knew
nice.
this was coming. I knew this Pokemon skin was coming. I knew somebody
and
was
the
going to do
person-
it.
Oh, of course.
The person who developed the mod is actually going to get sued.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nintendo is definitely coming after them from what I've read today, that they're investigating Pal World. Is it Pal World? Is that how you
Yes,
say
it's
it?
Pal World.
Yep.
Pal
Yeah.
World.
And it's so interesting. I wonder if I can find it because I know Lofty.
So is
did
it because it's too similar to Pokemon that's why they're suing?
No. So essentially, what the guy did, he got the skin of Ash, the other Pokemon. He made as a mod feature you can do in Pal World. So in Pal World, you can play as Ash or Pikachu or any other characters of Pokemon. So Nintendo sent a letter to the guy who developed the mod saying, like, hey, you need to stop doing what you're doing, and we're also coming for you.
So this is a Pokemon. This is a
Yes.
traditional Pokemon, and he's turning it into a Pal World.
Oh, it's the similarities. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're very similar. I love Pokemon games. I've been playing them ever since they came out. That's why I still have all of my old ones ever since the Game Boy Color. I've kept all of my handheld games just because of Pokemon to replay them and everything. But yeah, this looks a lot like Pokemon. I've been saying this one thing for years. So this is why I'm excited for Pal World.
But is
Ever since the first games, I've wanted to play Pokemon as a Team Rocket member,
Yeah.
and it's never let me. So
Why-
I feel like all the destruction that you can do in Pal World will finally let me do that. That's why I'm excited.
I'm trying
And
to
then you can
find.
finally say Team Rocket is blasting off again.
Yes.
Yes, I know. I'm so like, the possibilities in this game are endless. And I will probably get that. I'm gonna say that on live because I don't want Nintendo to come after me.
Fair.
But yeah, no, it is definitely fun. It is a fair warning.
Mhm.
Some of the mechanics are wonky, and if you want to build, that's where I lost my frustration the most. Is that if you want to do a certain slant in your roof, it will only allow you to do it if you're positioned in a different way of where you're at in your house, like in your house. And it's super weird. So you have to navigate your way through the mechanics of it, but it's fun overall. And PETA can go fuck themselves.
PETA,
I love this statement.
I feel lately for everything that PETA's put out based off media, I feel like they're just trolling at this point. They have to know. They have to know how they're coming off.
Can I just say, as a resident vegetarian here, this is horseshit. Cannoli was killing lambs or some shit in his game the other day when he was playing this with Vex. It's a video game. I don't eat animals. It doesn't mean you can't kill them in video games. PETA's got to calm the hell down. This is
they're
ridiculous.
Trolling. They have to be trolling at this point. It has to be. There's no way. Yeah. There's no way in hell that they don't know how this is coming across in the world.
They have to insert themselves into everything, and they look like assholes. I'm sorry. Like, nobody takes PETA seriously anymore because of stuff like this. Like, your cause is crap. I'm sorry. As a vegetarian, I understand that we're going to have games that are going to kill animals. Like, Cannoli plays Red Dead Redemption. There's certain things you have to kill as a cowboy to eat to survive. I get it. It's a game. So to be mad over a game, these PETA people need to get their lives together. I'm just saying.
I'll kill my own animals to eat if it comes to it. So like, I have no skin in the game.
Crisis that we hit that.
Even then, I'll go hunting. I don't care. It's like I get it, but I agree with you. PETA is a joke. PETA doesn't do anything for animals. Actually, PETA harms animals more so than anything. Come after me, PETA. Come after me. I'm sure somebody's gonna throw lamb's blood on me. Why are you throwing lamb's blood on me? Where'd you get the lamb's blood from?
Oh, I know. They're so stupid. Like, I've never seen PETA actually do anything productive. Like, what are they doing? Who are they saving? Who are they campaigning for? All they're doing is making their issue look comical. Nobody cares. Like I said, I'm a vegetarian and I do not support, well, I eat fish, so I'm a pescatarian. It's confusing, but I don't support PETA and I don't want to eat animals. Doesn't mean that I cook meat for my family though. It's my own personal opinion. I'm not going to bully everybody into having my own views. It's personal and it's not my job to change the world in that respect. There are animals to be eaten for a reason. I just choose not to. That's all.
I agree with you. My sister's a vegetarian too, and she doesn't hold it against her husband. She doesn't hold it against her kids.
No, my daughter requests a steak for special occasions for her birthday. I make the Thanksgiving turkey for the whole entire family.
Oh, my sister does too, and she makes a bomb ass turkey.
They always make the turkey because it's good, but it's enough already. Nobody gives a shit how you feel. This is another thing where I'm going to insert my opinion and my views and make everybody listen to me. Nobody cares.
Couldn't help myself. Am I wrong? But no. I do have to say, like, I love this quote because, like, of all the things you can do in this game that I've heard, like, you can kill animals, you can enslave them. They only focused on making a vegan guide, not even telling people not to eat the animals, just telling people, here's a vegan guide. I think the people like at PETA know they're a joke and they also play into it with these tweets. But I also think, conspiracy idea, that they want to play this game and they don't want to deter themselves or other people away from playing the game. So they go with the lamest thing to change in the game that will still be like, oh, we kind of support the game. We just have a vegan guide for some players.
God, and it's
like the lamest thing they could have changed, they did.
They're just so lame. They're just so lame. It's just.
It's the one from Hunger Games.
PETA.
PETA.
The boy with the bread. I agree.
You know, the only time I've ever been upset in a video game is like, I think Cannoli's horse died in Red Dead Redemption. And I didn't like that part because it made me sad. I don't like seeing animals die in movies. It really bothers me.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not like I'll never watch Marley and Me. Forget it. I've already been through that in real life.
I did
But
before
Oh
I
my
had a dog, and now that I have dogs, I wouldn't watch it.
I
No,
That's
watched
why I
Marvel-
haven't watched the last Guardians of the Galaxy, because of the whole experimental on the little baby
no,
animal.
Listen. It's not as bad as you think. I watched it not knowing what I was getting into, and I did look at Cannoli and I went, "What? Why did you tell me this was all about animals?" It was like it was still a good movie. Yes, you'll cry, you'll feel certain things, but it's a happy ending. It's okay. But I didn't know what I was getting into.
Well,
I'm
something
like, why is a comic book movie making me cry?
I think Dr. Rachel could relate to this. I've never seen Futurama. Have you? Anybody?
Yes.
On the,
Yeah.
Okay.
I've-
I
Once in a while.
refuse to watch it because of the dog episode.
Yeah.
Like that's like
Yep.
I don't know what it is. I've never seen it. I've never seen Futurama. I know it's a sin, but Chris is like, we can watch it, and I'll warn you before before that
Just
episode comes
fast
out.
forward. Like Cannoli, when he introduced me to John Wick, he fast forwarded. He's like, okay, the part's coming up. Close your ears, hide your head. I will fast forward that part. And I never saw that part. Same with like House of Cards. There's a part in the beginning of House of Cards
Yeah.
where there's a dog
I forgot about that,
situation.
yeah.
Cannoli warned me. And so I still can enjoy certain things like
Mhm.
knowing, but without seeing it. So I appreciate being saved from the torture, but I will say I'm a terrible human being, but I will watch people get killed all day in movies, but you touch an animal, I'm out. I can't do
Yep.
it. Not because I'm a vegetarian, but I'm just such a huge animal lover. They're innocent. They can't fight back. Leave them alone.
Miss Sassy, I have a question for you, because you're a
Yeah.
mom, and
Yes.
you're a mom both to a human, and you have pets and stuff.
Yes.
There was a video a while back going around of them interviewing moms, and they asked the question, would you kill somebody for your child? And all these moms were like, kill someone? I don't think so. No, I don't think, depending on this, no. All of them were like, no, I wouldn't kill somebody for my kid. And I don't even have kids, I have dogs. I would kill somebody for my dog.
Dude, real quick, I got in the middle of my old dog that passed away, which she came to me in a dream the other night, and I woke up crying. It was so sad. Oh my God. I got in the middle of my dog and a pit bull. You don't fuck with my dog. I got in front of a pit bull, and I was like, no. So yes, I will kill for my dog, and I will kill for my daughter, because they are my family. My dog is just as much as my child as my daughter is. So yes,
Well,
I will kill for either one of them.
It's interesting to me, because these moms are saying like, no, I wouldn't kill for my child, but I wonder if it's just programming us to be even more detached from having kids, or for being pro product, not pro
I
choice,
think
reproductive.
like,
having kids and stuff.
if you look at
Pro
all of
having kids.
No, if you look at everything in this stuff I talk about on Sundays and whatnot, there's more and more people changing into people that no longer will procreate. And
Yeah.
the procreation is less, and it's more about becoming who you need to be. And it's usually a different gender, and then the genders don't line up. And, then I feel like, and then we're also grooming children, my opinion, to change their genders. And we're focusing more on genders and individuality like that versus finding a partner and procreating and having children and the family aspect of things.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you that we're less on families anymore. We don't really pride ourselves on the family dynamic. It's more so, oh my God, good for you. You were a woman and now you're a man, or vice versa.
Well,
but you're right. I think they're steering away from of family values, in my opinion.
I agree with you, because like both of my parents, I know would kill for any of my sister's siblings. I know for a fact my dad would. I know, allegedly. I know for a fact it would be like no question
How
asked.
can you not protect your child? I mean, are you
the most
freaking kidding me?
vulnerable of our culture and our society should be protected at all times. And
But it's a human instinct to protect your young, whether you're an animal or a human being. You gave birth to that. You raised it. You've spent all your time protecting it. You're just going to stand there and let somebody take that from you. these are weak ass bitches. That's the problem. They're growing up to be like these TikTok moms with these clean girl aesthetics. And they're like, no, my slick back ponytail and my Uggs that match my jumpsuit or my sweatsuit is going to get ruined. No, bitch, you don't listen. Let me tell you something. I had a teacher fired for fucking with my kids. So I'm not, listen.
Oh, my dad almost threw somebody through a window because when I was younger, because I had to have some blood testing, and when you're a baby, they do it through the bottom of your heel.
Yes.
But they kept missing every single time, and it got to the second or third time, and my dad's like, "You're gonna go through that fucking window if you don't get this. Like, I'm tired of seeing my kid." Like, to imagine if somebody ever threatened any of us, my dad would be like, "You know what? I've lived my life. I'll live my life in prison. I don't care."
I just don't understand that need to protect and the moms. I'm surprised to hear you say that there are moms out there that actually need to think about it.
It's so bizarre to me because even without having kids, I would feel like an instinct as a mother, like the one thing you want to protect the most. I don't care about what gender you are or what if you produce a child, that should be something you protect. That's the most valuable thing in your life. And the fact that you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for your child, it's just bizarre to me. And I think it's a little bit of what you said, but I also think it's our environment. We're not socializing as much as we used to.
And we're more selfish too.
Yeah, we're all, social media, we're all inside most of the time. And look at all the things we consume too. It's just, it boggles my mind because even as an older sibling, I would protect my sisters, even as that older sibling. And I just don't understand why somebody could say, nah, I wouldn't kill for my kid. Okay. So
I would question that person's whole life, the whole thing,
I love it.
I can't comprehend that. I would kill for my husband. I mean, I'm there to protect the people that you love, even my dog. Like I said, I mean, I know what you mean. It's a little bit weird, but like, I would, if a dog was attacking my dog, Canoli's asked me this a lot. He's like, if somebody was attacking your dog, another animal, would you shoot that dog? And I'd probably try not to shoot it to kill it, but like injure it. But I would do anything I could to protect those I love. And without question, I don't need a minute to think about it. So it's instinct. It's
story time with me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So story time. So where I live, particularly, is heavily dominated by the sheriff, and I have Australian Shepherds and a Belgian Malinois. So I had a litter of brothers, both Australian Shepherds, and one got out while we were away, while we were working, and my dad came home and found one of the Australian Shepherds ran over. So we thought, oh, maybe he got hit by a car or something. So we were thinking of that. Our neighbor that lived across from us came over, talked to my dad, said like, hey, like I have video. It's this neighbor who lives this far down who has this truck. He was chasing after your dog in his truck, and he purposely ran over your dog.
Oh,
wow. Out, tail up. We're gone. Let's go. Let's go.
I got that phone call from my dad and telling me that. And mind you, my brother is a police officer as well. So I'm exploding in front of my brother. He's like, well, since it's county, we can, and it's in my jurisdiction, I can have someone investigate that. So a sheriff came out, investigated, and it is considered damage of property because it is a farmland that we grew up on. And so he gave the guy an ultimatum. It's like, hey, you pay this family $5,000 for the damage of their property, or I have to arrest you for one, damage of property. And then also in the video does explain, it does show you driving the truck and you purposely running over the dog. So yeah, we got the money. The guy gave in. We got the money, but the money is not going to replace the love for my Australian Shepherd.
But people need to be held accountable for being dicks like that. And I like that there's more laws now to protect animals from like animal abusers are getting the book thrown at them. So I think it's
and he did get a charge too for criminal mischief. Because it is county. But yeah, like I said, we did get the payment for it. Yeah, I'm glad that the sheriff did get that charge on him. Because if there was no charge, like he's gonna do it again. If it was as my dog, I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it to another farmland property, other
Oh,
animals.
100%. Yeah.
What a
The-
piece of crap. I can't imagine harming something so innocent like that. You have to really be not okay.
Oh, I'm paranoid about that stuff.
Yeah.
We had over the summer, we had like these little black pellets show up in our backyard randomly on our furniture, and we had no trees around it. And my husband and I were like, what the hell where are these coming from? We would like clean it up. The next day there would be more of them. And we could not figure it out. And I kept Googling and I'm like, is this poison? Is this something? Because I'm like freaking out, thinking somebody's trying to poison my dogs. Like just throwing stuff back there and just letting them eat it and then poison it. I'm like, I wish a bitch would. I swear to I was so loud because the only way it could have gotten in our neighborhood is our adjacent neighbors. I was so loud just to warn them, like, you do not want to fuck with me. You do not want to mess with me. The Arab in me was coming out. I was like super loud about it. I was like, whoever's doing this, I'm totally like, I don't know if this is really poison or something, but I'm, Chris, I'm like, I'm really upset about this, and just like going off on it. And then they stopped showing up. So I was like, okay, you got the message. I am not one to mess with.
No, I agree.
So do we want to do J.K. Rowling, Barbie, or the Wizard of Oz remake?
I think we can probably save some of those. Maybe we can do like the discussing film and the Barbie and then save.
Okay. Can do. Should we do discussing film first? Because it'll be shorter. Give me a second. Yeah. You know what? I say yes because I'm a Potterhead and I'll vote everybody. I'm
very
kidding. So I don't know if you saw this, Miss Sassy. I think everybody did.
Yes.
This is the stupid. To me, even if you believe that she's a transphobe, this is not proper way of reporting things, guys.
Exactly.
Like it's not.
Nope.
Known transphobe J.K. Rowling is now reportedly being an active executive producer on Harry Potter series, where she'll be involved in the show decision making. You know what? Fucking good. Thank you. All right.
She created. She should have a hand in it. It's hers.
Yeah.
It's her freaking property, man. Like, don't.
How about this? I have this new motto for you guys. Ready for this? If you don't like it, don't watch it. There you go. Pack it up and go home.
Original idea.
Jeez, I'm just so tired of everybody freaking whining. You don't like it, just go away.
Just turn it off. Just like everything doesn't have to be for everyone. Everything is not for everyone. Just find what you like. That's why I don't really care for the Oscars, because I'm like, nobody's gonna tell me what a good film is and what a bad film is.
I don't like it either. It's just a bunch of they blow smoke up each other's asses.
When I was in the industry, I used to care, but back then it wasn't as much of a political dance as it is now.
Exactly.
Or at least wasn't as known as a political dance as it is now. And to me, I'm like, I would rather be like, hey, Rachel, what movie do you like? Recommend me a movie. Or what movie you don't like, Lily? Like, recommend, like, have a discussion. It's why me and Vex talked about Saltburn yesterday in the chat, because I was complaining about this movie and she's like, you know what? I have to go see this movie and see what the bustle is. And she liked it. So like,
my daughter watched this movie without my knowledge.
I don't know.
15.
Listen, I was watching horror movies when I was like 7, 8, so like I can't say anything.
Listen, it's fine. She's gonna do it. She told me all about it. It's fine. Like, we have a good relationship. But when I heard some of the parts in that movie, I was like, shit, kid, come on now.
I was very surprised Zax was able to pull a couple of those scenes.
I know. I saw some of those scenes and I was like, oh my God, my daughter watched this. Oh boy.
But my thing about this is, anybody who actually listens to what J.K. Rowling is saying will understand that it's not this headline. She's not a transphobe. She's not a transphobe at all. She's very left leaning. She's actually she's pretty left. Like she and I would not agree on most things. But the one thing I do agree with her is that women should have safe spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. Mic drop. Women just should have safe spaces. There just should be an area for biological women to have a safe space. That's it. That's it. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're an adult. You're an adult. Do what you want to do. My two things is, as long as you're not harming anyone and as long as you're not pushing things on kids. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. But this is disgusting. Disgusting films, like Lily was saying. They don't know how to properly report things.
Well, and this actually didn't work in their favor because they actually got
Turned off
their notoriety from this is that everybody shitting on them versus they just look like jerks. Did they turn off their comments?
Oh yeah.
Of course,
And they already know, like, if you have to turn off your comments, you know that what you're posting isn't a good thing. Because if you want
Lily's been posting some really good stuff on Twitter, and the Alyssa Milano thing. I know it's a side note.
Yeah.
She turned off her comments too, and it's like you guys are chicken shit. If you post something and not allow comments, you know you're wrong. They didn't want to hear this because they know that they're wrong. And even if she was a transphobe, let's just say she was, and she was open about it, that's her business. It's a free country. If you don't want to support her for being a transphobe, that's your prerogative. If you want to hate her for it, that's great too. But leave it alone.
That's what I was about to bring up. Like, if you go to that GoFundMe page for her son's baseball team, there's
this is a real thing, by the way. This is real. This is somebody who actually donated $5 labeled.
I can't believe that. That's
her net worth is $10 million and she can't pay $10,000.
It's not even 10,000. If you go to the GoFundMe, the last time I checked, it was like right under 6. So she could just throw them $5,000 and just. I mean,
that's
are you
a drop in
that
the box
bad?
for her. Give me a break, lady.
I know.
Her comments are turned off too.
Yep, they sure are. That's what I'm saying. There's so many people posting this cringy shit, and they're turning off their comments because they know they're wrong. If you turn off comments, you know you've done something wrong. It's a red flag right there. But the fact that you're worth 10 million and you can't 5,000 is like $5 to us. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's just this is just stupid. They're looking stupid. This discussing films is just looking stupid. Harry Potter has been around forever. Whatever, there's a lot of things. Like, for instance, if you really stopped watching every actor out there that said something stupid politically, you would not watch anything.
Yeah.
You wouldn't read any books, you wouldn't watch any movies. You wouldn't listen to music. There's a lot of people. And I feel my whole thing is just keep your mouth shut politically. Have your views, do what you want in private, but leave it separate from what you do as far as an artist. But even if you open your mouth, everybody, like Robert De Niro is my husband's favorite actor. He's making himself look like a piece of shit lately.
Yeah.
But you know what? You separate the person from their craft. Leave it alone.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't think people should be scared to speak how they feel.
No, they shouldn't.
And I'm totally cool with it. But there's two things. One, we need to stop idolizing these people. These people don't deserve to be idolized. They are just doing a job. They are literally being paid to do a job. That is it. And two, separate art from the artist. I mean, I have a ton of Stephen King books. And he's a twat muffin on Twitter. And I can separate the fact that I don't agree with him politically. I don't agree with most people that I enjoy, but I can separate the art from the artist and just enjoy the art.
Yeah.
I think it's so weird to me, the idolization. Like, for instance, Taylor Swift is very idolized, and I don't get it.
I don't see it.
Even get me started on Taylor Swift.
I mean, enjoy her music, but people are like crying at her concerts.
Okay, well, in all fairness, hold on. I'm gonna put myself out there. I have cried every time I saw Celine, but she does something to my soul, though. It's not her; it's her music. Like, hits my soul, and I cry every time. I cried when I saw Josh Groban.
I mean,
I did too.
The crying.
I did too. I'm there with you, Sassy.
When I was like really little, I used to love Britney Spears, and when I finally saw her in concert, I cried. I mean, that was.
I don't know what it is, but I don't idolize them.
But like Taylor Swift is beyond though. Like these people are like, did you guys see the videos that they posted when they had her tour like at the movie theaters?
Yeah.
Of all the girls that were in front of the theater, like holding hands and like dancing. And I'm like, guys, this is a cult. This is not like fans anymore. It's a cult.
The movie I will defend because it was a cheaper way for people to go enjoy the concert.
I agree. I did think it was good.
So
Listen,
I feel like when you're going
in, smart business lady. There is a reason why she won Person of the Year. I totally get it. I may not be a huge fan of her, but I don't turn her music off when it comes on in the car. It is a guilty pleasure. She's a smart businesswoman, and people are here for it. But idolizing them, I don't idolize Celine Dion. I think it's more of her music that does something for my soul. But her as a person, I don't idolize her as a person. I idolize her voice, her music, and the feelings that I get when I listen to her music.
There are some music that I will, like, if I'm listening to, I'll start to cry. I have emotions about it. But to me, it's not so much they're emotional about her music. They're emotional about the fact that they're getting to see their idol.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's creepy. There's a creepy sense to it. Like, I understand having role models in life, and you're completely right. She's a very smart businesswoman. Kim Kardashian is a very smart businesswoman.
Absolutely.
Beyonce is a very smart businesswoman. They're all very smart, but that doesn't mean you actually have to idolize them either. You know, you can respect the hustle, but it doesn't mean you have to worship them.
No, and I think there is a lot of worshipers of Taylor Swift, and there's the people that get insanely crazy. They're shaking, they're crying, they're convulsing, and it's just like, I don't know. I guess I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been like that with anybody.
No, and then these people get so like, they get so cringe. Like the other day that I posted, like, oh, come on, please, get the Chiefs out of here so I can finally not see Taylor Swift anymore. It's like it's getting annoying. Like,
I know.
other football players have dated other very famous celebrities. They have never gotten this amount of attention. Like Taylor.
The problem is that every girlfriend that has any celebrity that's dated an NFL player, they've always sucked. They're going back to the Tony Romo, Jessica Simpson days. Jessica Simpson, like Tony Romo sucked every time she was there. I guess Taylor, I guess Travis Kelce does well when Taylor's there. But I think it's funny because it's so funny, the women on TikTok too. It's like, oh my God, do you know who Travis Kelce? It's like, he was the Chiefs were a team before Taylor Swift. And the fact that it's all about Taylor Swift, if I was a Chiefs player, I'd be offended. I'd be like, oh, now
and they are. And that post that I made the other day, there was some dumb Swiftie that came in and she was all offended. She's like, oh, keep crying about, and I'm like, no, dude, you don't understand. You're stepping into our territory. This is football.
It's football.
Like, I don't go to freaking Taylor's cringy concerts and hold up a sign about Travis Kelce.
You should.
This is so annoying. And she doesn't understand that.
They're saying it's a conspiracy. They're saying that it's a business deal. I have to say the NFL has kind of been lackluster. I don't know politically how everybody feels, but I feel like some of their messages have been a little bit too much and what they're standing for and things on the field and yada, yada. And I wonder if this is just a business move for both Taylor and the NFL, because there's always more to the story. And I wonder.
And I'm not looking.
Let me tell you, if they get to the Super Bowl and they win, it was rigged. Yep. It was rigged.
I am not looking forward to it because the Super Bowl's here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Construction has been crazy. We went down to SHOT Show today, and they're starting to expand the highways to make it a little bit more easier.
Right. It's in Vegas.
And it's just, I'm just like, I really, F1 was just awful. Oh my God, so bad. And now the Super Bowl and now SHOT Show, which is the biggest like gun show this weekend, and then we have the Super Bowl coming up, and I'm just like, come on, folks, just like give Vegas a break. But yeah, I mean, I shouldn't really complain because I live like in the most southern tip of Vegas, so it's not like I have to deal with it every single day. But
yeah, it was here. Was it here last year or the year before?
I think so.
And we usually have the Super Bowl and then this huge car thing called the Barrett-Jackson. And then we have the Phoenix Open, which is so we have all three things sometimes at the same time. It brings a lot of money to the state, but us working folk that just want to take the freeway home, it's so fun. And then you've got snowbirds because I'm in Arizona, so everybody comes here. It is no fun in January, February here.
Yeah. I just want to sometimes go downtown and just go to a pool and not have to deal with tourists.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. But
and by the way, FYI, if anybody watching this or yourselves would ever want to come to Vegas just for the Sphere, not worth it.
I saw your post. I was disappointed.
Not worth it. Overpriced, really bad customer service, really bad way of handling crowds inside. And then on top of everything, when we finally got to our seat, this guy would not get up to let my 70-something-year-old mother-in-law cross over him. And there's like enough, like if you stand up, you can cross over, you won't bump into people. And he literally wanted her to climb all the way back up go over and climb down. And I was like, no. So a lady helped us get over his lap. And then he's like hanging his dirty feet in sandals over these kids' hair in front of him. I'm just like, and the show itself wasn't that impressive. So I would say save your money and go see it on the outside because it's impressive on the outside. And that's about it. That's about it. So
yeah, my
there you
friend
go.
went to go see
Vegas.
Lady Gaga there.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
I
hoping
think you're
that
talking
through-
about Beyonce having a residency there.
I've had enough of her too. I've had enough of her in the
Yeah.
goddamn.
It's
Yeah,
not
well,
been in the
I'm over
news very
her.
much lately. Like,
Well, didn't she
there's-
come
That's
out
because she's
recently?
running the Illuminati. There's something coming. If
Well,
you don't
not
see
only
her for a
that-
bit, it's coming.
allegedly.
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, she bleach her skin white, and that was a huge controversy as well. Like, oh no,
I think we're
she's
getting
No,
into
China.
listen.
conspiracy theory.
I got shut down. Listen, I got shut down on my stream because I tried to be all cool about that. Here's the thing I was told. I was set straight. She's
Okay.
biracial. It's okay.
Oh my god. Oh
That's
my
what I was
God.
told. That's what I was told. She's got a white mom-ish. So she gets a pass because she's biracial. So I already got shot down in my comments. I tried.
Anyway,
It's because
Yeah,
she's
but-
Asian,
JK
that's
Rowling.
why.
But the Kardashians get a lot of flack for,
yeah,
you know, they
Car-
can't do
the
it,
Card-
but Beyonce can.
Yeah.
the Kardashians imitate a lot of different cultures depending on how they're feeling that year. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
As my
but
dad
I
calls them,
mean, a lot
they're
of the
sharmutas. Uh-oh. Did
I
lose
mean,
everybody?
yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry, but sometimes different things are cool from different cultures. And I understand the whole thing with the Kardashians because, yes, they have stolen a lot of things and put it into their fashion. I totally get why people hate them for it. But, like, I'm sorry, when I've gone traveling, I like to immerse myself in the culture. When I went to India,
Oh yeah.
I had to get my little sari to take my pictures. I'm sorry.
should-
I like to do that too.
I think
Like,
it's fine.
sorry.
I think
think
it's
it's
more so
cool.
people are upset, and I could care less. I don't
could
care
care less
either way. My dad just calls them sharmutas because they're partially Middle Eastern, so it's just like and sharmutas mean basically like whore in Arabic.
Yeah.
But
I'm like,
I'm
I
with you, Lily. I'm like, I like to eat the culture of food, be immersed in the culture. I come from a family with big culture, but I think it's so much that they treat it as if they were the first to bring it to the market
Yeah.
and they're making money off of it, and I think that's what people have more so of a problem
But
with.
why is everybody so offended if somebody immerses your culture? It's a compliment. If somebody wants to dive into your culture and feel what it is, I think cultures are interesting, and I don't understand why I'm Italian, I own it. No, I don't. I'll share it with everybody. If
Yeah.
somebody wants to, embrace an Italian culture and they're not Italian, or if I wanted to dip into Middle Eastern or Mexican or whatever, I don't understand why everybody is so offended all the time. And my race is my race and you can't touch it, or you can't wear your hair like that because I own that race, that style. It's just dumb. I think we all should be able to just embrace one another. And I think that's where we're going is it's selfishness, and we're owning things we won't share with anybody. And I think that's a lot of our problem too.
We're moving into segregating everybody from each other,
Yes.
and it
Yep.
doesn't necessarily have to be black and white. It's going to be different genders, different this, and it's really sad instead of coming together and being the melting pot that we
And
should be
celebrating
and celebrating
everybody.
each other. Yeah, in pop culture too. I do not like when certain movies or TV shows are meant for a certain type of people. I'm like, why? If I enjoy it, then I enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, then I don't. Like, I'm not telling everybody go watch Middle Eastern and Irish shows. Like, I'm just like, everybody. To me, I believe it in a sense of like sharing a meal. Everybody is welcome at my table. I don't care what your background is, as long as my two rules: you don't harm children and you don't harm other people. That's it. You're welcome at my table. We are going to break bread. That's it.
Yep.
And that's how it should be, instead of just like, okay, they're going to sit over here and you're going to sit. It's almost like wedding planning, which is really sad.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
my
agree.
rant. Back on J.K. Rowling, just one thing I want to mention. Anybody who actually does not like her, just based off headlines, I think should actually read into her background and where she started from, because she is a self-made person. She was very poor and very down on her luck when she created Harry Potter, and it just kind of took off. So like I think a lot of people should realize where she's coming from before making judgments. Again, she and I do not agree on everything at all, to be honest. But the one thing we do agree on is just like having safe women's spaces. So that's my cup of tea. All right. I know we're going to get into the main topic, or one of the main topics, everybody's favorite main topic. Before I pull this up, I want to say something, and I told the girls this in a private chat, Sassy. I was like, I'm tired of the Barbie Discord.
I'm
tired
so
of it.
friggin' tired of it.
I am tired of the Ryan Gosling posts, everybody complaining about it, or having, because to me, it took me a couple of days to kind of think of it, because I thought it was very weird that American Fiera was nominated, but Margot wasn't. But it took me, and then with Ryan backing them up, like, you know, putting himself on the table. And to me, working in the industry, it just made me remember, regardless of the Hollywood status, they're a team for 6-7 months creating this movie. So like when you're a team player, you're going to always support your other teammates. So I feel like him writing that thing about Greta and Margot was more of like, this is my family. This is my family for 6 or 7 months. This is my team. Sure. This is me supporting them. You know, not so much putting himself down. It's just like, we're a family. Let me go there. And plus I don't fucking care about the Oscars. Regardless, Barbie got kind of shunned, which I don't understand. Didn't they get like 8 fucking nominations on this? The only ones they just missing.
That's why award shows are all horseshit in politics.
Yeah. It's so
nobody's focusing on the 8 nominations though. They're all like, well, because Greta
or
and Margot
America
personally
Ferrera
didn't get 50 awards each. Then,
you know,
Barbie got snubbed because these 2 women didn't get awards, but they got and the whole thing, like you're saying, they're team players. The team got 8 nominations. They should be grateful for that.
Yep.
And Margot got nominated as a producer, and Greta got nominated as a writer for the screenplay. So they did get nominated. People are just upset because they didn't get nominated in the categories that people thought they should get nominated in. And yes, I understand the Oscars are like nobody cares anymore. But the thing is that people don't understand how the Oscars work. You're not going to get nominated just because you make $1 billion. How many Marvel movies have made $1 billion and none of their directors and none of their actors ever get nominated? Robert Downey Jr. actually just made a comment on that the other day. He said that some of the best acting that he has ever done has been in the Marvel movies as Iron Man. And he's never been recognized for it because the Academy sees that as less than. They don't count those types of films as any type of art. Like Martin Scorsese says, they're just popcorn flicks, throwaways that you don't take seriously. So yeah, they're not going to get nominated just because they made $1 billion. And like the thing is, Ryan got nominated in Best Supporting Actor, not as Best Lead Actor. So
well, he's not as much
Margot's a category. I mean, it was pretty stacked from a lot of the nominees that you see. It's pretty hard for her to get a nomination as a lead actress because Barbie just I mean, yeah, she went through her transformation. Margot, I love Margot. She's a really great actress. This isn't her best work. I think she was much, much better in Babylon. And she was much better in a lot of other projects.
Yeah.
That she wasn't even recognized for.
I don't understand why they think that they deserve an Oscar for a movie in which it was just comedic. They played plastic dolls. It wasn't earth-shattering. It was a fun movie. I feel like people say, even though if you didn't like the movie Oppenheimer, that was acting. I'm not saying that this is acting, but I think there's different levels of acting. And I think the fact that anybody got nominated for this movie was a stretch. Because I don't feel like, not to discredit actors, but I don't feel like you really had to go in deep there to really find your acting chops. I feel like this was a nice, fun, easy project per se versus doing something where like Oppenheimer, where it was a little bit more, emotional, in depth, or some of the other movies. I'm very out of sorts with all of the movies that were nominated.
Like Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Thing.
See, and that did not interest me at all. Like I like Martin Scorsese. I usually enjoy his movies. I had no desire to see this movie, but with that being said, that's more of a movie with, this was, I'm not discrediting Barbie as a whole because I wasn't super fond of it. But if you look at Oppenheimer and Barbie and you put it together as far as acting is, and you look at what the Oscars are about, Lily's right. It's not because you made $1 billion. It's the acting that went into the project. It's what you brought to the movie, in my opinion.
It's not even that. I'm telling you from somebody, it's not even that.
I know. It's not.
It's a political thing. It's a
I
change
know.
of money.
You're right.
It's a who you know, who knows. It's honestly,
You're right.
it has nothing to do with box office numbers. It is 100% to do with who you know, change of money.
And that's the sad part. That's the sad part. It's a popularity contest too. Yes. It really is.
Yeah.
And they even I'm pretty sure that they even knew Margot wasn't going to be nominated because they never really campaigned for her to be nominated. If you noticed, all of the stuff that was coming out about how Ryan prepared for his role as Ken, all of the behind the scenes videos that they released of him as Ken, like they were pushing him. They were pushing him
in his music video and all that stuff. Yeah.
To me, it makes sense that he is nominated in supporting, not lead, because at the end of the day, it is a Barbie movie and Margot is the lead of the movie. I understand everybody's obsession with Ken, and Ken is a lot of everybody's favorite, but from a technical, logical point of view of the script and how the movie is made, Margot Robbie and American Fiera is the lead. They're the leads. They are the leads. Take it, I understand. Nobody really, I don't think, expected to like Ryan Gosling as Ken. I know a lot of people like him, but I remember when they first announced him as casting, there was a lot of pushback on the fact that he was Ken. So supporting actor makes sense. I just think it's strange to me that it's brought Barbie back into more of a political landscape than just being like, well, you know what? Honestly, fuck the Oscars. Like, okay, cool. So what? You know what I mean? I know some people who didn't like Oppenheimer. I know some people don't like Christopher Nolan. I'm telling you.
And honestly, like to the same thing, I've seen much better directed movies from Greta as well. Barbie was not her best movie. So
yeah, I just feel people are making a mountain out of a molehill on this with it. Because you've got multiple, you even have Hillary Clinton commenting.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so stupid. I mean,
my fucking mind on this.
That was so stupid. Like, why?
Yep.
Why do you have to comment?
I saw that.
I know. I took this clip for Sunday with the fact that she was inserting herself in this. It's like, you're not helping anybody, Hillary.
No.
Yeah.
Like, Hillary, you don't even go here. Like, stop. Why are you
I just feel the Oscars it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. And on top of it, how bad people are dealing now with inflation and being able to afford things. And now you expect us to watch 2-3 hours of people in these $1 million gowns with these jewelry and having
about
these
the
photos.
Bags. The gift bag that they go on social media and they're like, look what I got from the Oscars. It's like, great. Well, my grocery bills went up $200 this week, but good for you for having a Gucci watch in your Fendi bag. It is. The Oscars, these award shows, I think, too, are just hypocritical. They're a slap in the face. They're a popularity contest. Nobody votes. Back in the day, it was about who was a better actor.
Yes.
Now, you're absolutely right. It's all politics. And winning an Oscar now, I don't feel means as much as it used to.
No.
Well, look how long Leonardo DiCaprio was snubbed. I mean, also blacklisting actors and
look at Martin Scorsese. I'm sorry, say what you will. He's a phenomenal director. I think he just finally won, or maybe not. But if he did, it was in the last 5 years, and he got snubbed every award show. And you can't tell me that he hasn't made one great movie in his entire life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really honestly, it's who you know, and it's a popularity contest for them, and it's sad because to me the most important categories on there are sound effects, people who work 14-16 hours a day post-production to get these movies in, but they idolize only the best supporting actor, best actress, best, why not support also the working people? I mean, I saw the Godzilla -1 reaction of the fact that they were just nominated, not even
that
winning.
was awesome. I love that. hope
We're
that
so
they won more
happy.
because
Yeah.
their whole thing was different. They're just the whole aura of their movie and what they did was so different than some of this other shit out there. And I'm tired of the Hollywood thing. It's just enough already. We're just sick of it. We're sick of it.
Yeah.
It's always I
No,
don't know.
and then it is total BS. I don't like bringing all this stuff up because it's really stupid to bring up. But like America Ferrera getting a nomination, she's a Latina. That's something to be celebrated as well.
Yeah.
Because I was very surprised to see that we've not like the last time that a Hispanic person or a Latina person won an Oscar was like in friggin' 1950, who knows what. And they're
Oh,
claiming
wow.
that they're so inclusive and they're for everybody. And I mean, that's just a number I threw out, but it's been a long time that they've even been nominated. So like, what's the issue with that? Like, you guys know I love Pedro too. I love his work, and I was cheering for him for award season 2. He lost every single award. And his category, I know for sure that him and Jenna Ortega were nominated for, I think it was either Golden Globes or the Critics' Choice Awards. And yeah, the last time that Latino had actually won was like back in the 90s. And it's like, really, how are you guys over here being such hypocrites, claiming that you're so inclusive and you're for everybody when, I mean, I'm sorry, but we don't have a lot of Latino people that get nominated.
No,
Or
they're
even
for
No,
everybody but the Latinos. That's the problem. They're focusing on everybody else. They're not inclusive. They have this little box of who they want to check.
Not Middle
yeah, and the
Eastern
thing
either.
is that I've never really seen a lot of the Latinos complaining about it. We're just like, okay, I guess we didn't do a lot of our job that great that we don't deserve a nomination, I guess. And we're just not as loud, and maybe we need to start getting loud too, because there have been so many great actors that you're just like, wow, how did you not get nominated for something like that? And of course, no one's talking about America Ferrera because boo-hoo, Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig didn't get a nomination. So
yeah, I agree with you. The whole like that and the Gosling thing takes away from her. Takes away the
it really
spotlight
does.
from her.
And what I didn't like either is, yes, this is like a big he is showing support for them because yes, he did enjoy being in the movie and everything, but like I love the guy, but also the way that they worded it wasn't the best because he's like, yeah, it's very disappointing that like Greta and blah, blah, blah. And then at the bottom, he was like, oh, but I'm happy for America. Way at the end.
Yeah. Isn't he married to a Latina woman?
Yes,
too?
he is.
Eva Longoria.
Yeah.
Mendes.
Oh my God. Yes, you're right.
I think this is just a way to bring Barbie back in the news, to be honest, because it was such a polarizing movie for everybody, right? Everybody was on one side or the other. You were assumed to be something. Miss Sassy jumped off, probably having technical difficulties. It's okay. I understand she's probably sick of Barbie too. I'm fucking sick of Barbie. I even like the movie. I am one of the few people in our community that likes the movie, that really likes the movie, not just because of Ryan Gosling. Like, I actually love Margot Robbie and American Ferrera's performance. I really enjoy it. It like I to start to finish, but I think this is just a way to bring it back to just create even more division between people during the season.
Yeah,
so
was crazy.
I don't know what happened with Sassy.
Yeah, everyone has to play a victim because they want the attention, and they'll create anything and anything. Yeah, anything in their mind to get the attention.
And the whole fact that
want.
If Greta and Margot wasn't nominated, but they hate women, yet America was nominated, makes absolutely no sense. So anybody who tweets that stuff, you obviously don't do your research and you don't support America then.
Yep.
I'm saying just
and not
the
just
actress
the country.
and the country. No,
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's crazy. Like I mean, you know my opinion on the movie, but I'm happy for America. I mean, that's a really great accomplishment. I'm not going to take away from that because it's awesome. And you know what? I hope she wins.
I hope she does too, but I'll tell you right now, personally, I won't be watching. I might watch Odin's like stream about it, like his award season, but
it's because they're so cringe. Oh my gosh, they're so cringe. Like I've had to sit for them because of Pedro, and I've hated every single second of it. It's so cringe. Like only these people find themselves funny.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, we're at time and we lost Sassy. Wait, she's back. She's back.
Yay,
You're back.
Welcome back.
What happened?
Oh,
You're muted.
Sassy.
You're muted.
There's no audio, honey. Nope, still no
No.
audio.
We're just gonna lip read.
Wait, 1 minute.
Yeah.
We got
1
it.
minute. Okay.
Oh,
We'll give you 1
I
minute.
love this
Okay.
game of charades. I love this game of
This
Sassy
is it.
Sassy. This is fun.
I think that was our first middle finger for the show.
It was.
Yeah.
My first middle finger.
Yay, Sassy.
Our first middle finger for the
Thanks
show.
for bringing our show. It was nice
Yeah.
knowing you guys. We'll see you whenever.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I like I told you guys, I'm over the Barbie Discord. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I muted Ryan Gosling. That's how tired I am of it. I muted everybody from it. I'm like, I like, good for you. That's about it. I got to worry about paying my water bill. I rather worry about that than this.
There's
Okay, hold on.
Life issues happening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
We got
so I
you.
had to take I'm such an old lady. I had to take my hearing aids out because it wasn't working and it was running through. My internet just took a shit. It just went down. So
well,
I'm on my cell phone.
No.
Well, I'm
That happened to me
gonna
last
let you your full screen. Tell the people where you're at and where they can
Okay.
find you.
Thank you. So sorry. Okay. I'm so sorry. Were you ending the show?
Yes. So tell people
Okay.
where they can find you.
Okay.
personal.
You can find me on Sundays at Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch on YouTube. I do a Sunday Sassy stream where I kind of talk about the stuff the girls talk about, not gaming stuff because I don't know any of that stuff, but I do try. So I am usually Sundays 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? Oh, and then 2 p.m. Eastern. You can find me on Sundays. And then one Friday a month, just listen, follow my YouTube community page and you'll be able to find me. And I'm on the Twitter. I'm on the Twitter as well.
On the Twitter? Okay. Very cool.
I am so sorry that it had to end this way, but thank you so
you're
much
fine.
for having me.
Oh, we love having you. You're definitely gonna be
Yes. Oh
back.
my
You're
God.
definitely 100% gonna be back. Like,
Oh, I will
this
come
is
back
it.
anytime you want me to come back. I just hope that I don't know, Cannoli sent me a text message and I think it was like that we're having an outage or something, but everything just completely
bummer.
shut down. And so all I have is my phone.
Oh, you're fine.
Wow.
We're ending the show. Anyway, Lily, tell the people where you're at, where they can
Oh
find you next.
no, full screen.
Oh, sorry.
All right, guys. Well, you can find me over on Twix at 300 Mares. What am I doing? That's a good question. Okay, so I'm doing shorts for Midnight's Edge Espanol. And then we're also going to be covering episode 10 of the Zorro series that just came out on Amazon Prime tomorrow. So we're going to be streaming that tomorrow on, I believe, Polly's channel, Latino Slant, and on Midnight's Edge Espanol, if you guys want to check it out. It's actually been a pretty good show. I'm enjoying it. Well, tune in for thoughts. And then, of course, Game of Thrones stream on Mondays on Legion Talk. And then we're also doing our Friday night stream, just kind of talking about pop culture as well. But anything that's going on, you can find it on my Twitter. So yes. And thank you guys. We had a really great show. Thank you, Sassy.
Oh, I had so much fun. I didn't get to, can you hear me okay? I didn't get to
Yeah.
stream with Lily last time. So this
I
is so much
know.
fun.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy.
We're gonna go with Miss
Oh,
Dr. Rachel. Tell the people where they can find you next.
hey everyone. You can always find me on Twitter, Sauron_cosplay. I post all my stuff there, memes, news, whatever. I'm of course panelist here every Thursday. You can find me on Dreaming Tabitha's YouTube. Tomorrow we're doing a group art stream, which is going to be really fun. And then not this weekend, but the following weekend, I will be at MegaCon. So you can find
Ooh,
me
yes.
all over the place at that convention.
Very
That looks
cool.
so fun. Looks so fun.
I was actually supposed to be on with you tomorrow, but I had some prior engagement with Tabitha.
Oh,
But
no.
hopefully we'll be able to do something soon, all of us.
Yes.
That would be fun. Know me without you. Tell the people where you're at.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Know Me Without You and on my YouTube channel, Know Me Without You. I also do shorts for Midnight's Edge Espanol. You can catch me there doing shorts for them. And this Saturday, because it's been a long time, because I have another job that keeps me occupied, but this Saturday I will be on Screaming Into the Void with Samuel the Infamous. Yeah, I usually do a Friday stream, but I won't be available for that one. But yes, if I'm retweeting it, chances are I will be there hanging out with them.
Very cool. Very cool. And myself, I am part of the Inside All Day podcast. Saturday, we will be over at Inside All Day Gaming, one of our new channels, for our session 2 for our D&D stream. We have Mando, Shadowhawk on there, my husband, another friend. So please go ahead and subscribe to that channel as well if you're into D&D. Chris and I will also have some solo stream gaming streams coming in the future to that channel. Next week I'm on Zach's again. Next Wednesday we're going to be talking about paranormal stuff, and then I believe Miss Sassy and I next Saturday will be on a stream with Vex talking about some spicy stuff. So again, follow me on Twitter. I'll post everywhere where I'm at. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a good night, and thank you for joining, and thank you again to our guests. Thank you so much for showing up, Miss
Thank you,
Sassy. We love having
Thank you,
you.
Sassy.
Anytime. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, ladies.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.